back to my channel. Today's video is going to be something that my friend Connie actually requested, so thank you Connie for this idea. I am gonna be watching a bunch of DCOMs and talking about them. If you didn't know, DCOMs are Disney Channel original movies. I lived for DCOMs as a kid. So I figured since today I'm not feeling well, Apple's just readjusting. Since I'm not feeling well today, and since surprisingly I have a bunch of free time today, I decided that this would be the perfect opportunity to make this video. I think I'm gonna put this video in a new playlist called Reviews or something because I do want to make a few videos at the end of the year about all the movies I watched, all the TV shows I watched, all the books I've read, and kind of talk about them. In December, be on the lookout for those videos. So I just went on Wikipedia and looked up every DCOM that was ever made, and I made this huge list of the ones that I've seen before, and some of the ones that I haven't seen but have always wanted to see. Even though I have a bunch of free time today, I'm not gonna have so much free time to watch all of these movies that I have listed. I'm just gonna read to you this list that I have and we'll see how many I can get through. Halloweentown, Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century, Smart House, The Color of Friendship, Phantom of the Megaplex, Motocrossed, The Luck of the Irish, Cadet Kelly, Get a Clue, Gotta Kick It Up, Even Stevens Movie, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, Cheetah Girls, Pixel Perfect, Stuck in the Suburbs, Go Figure, Twitches, High School Musical, Cowbells, Wendy Woo, Read It and Weep, Camp Rock, Princess Protection Program, Wizards of Waverly Place the Movie, Lemonade Mouth, and Descendants. Out of all of these movies, the only one that I haven't seen that is very popular is Descendants. Descendants came out like right after I stopped watching Disney Channel, but I know that it's like a really big thing amongst like younger people now, so I guess I'll check it out. I have my cardigan on, my two dogs. You definitely can't see Pancake because she's on the ground, but Apple's right here. I'm gonna make them sit with me and watch the movies with me. I've got coffee, I've got popcorn, and I have puffy Cheetos, which I do think are superior to the skinny Cheetos. So I'm all ready to start. We're kicking things off with Halloweentown. Spooky Halloween! Wait, I need to relocate to the other couch where the TV actually is. Okay, I just finished Halloweentown and then I took a nap. So I wrote down a bunch of my thoughts and I think I'll just rattle them off after I watch every movie. So my first comment is, I forgot how short DCOMs are and I am here for it. I went into this a little nervous because I was like, I don't have time to dedicate 2 hours to every movie and there's so many movies to watch, but they're so short. It felt like I had just turned it on and it was halfway done. Rest in peace, Debbie Reynolds. She was so beautiful and charming in this movie. I don't remember why they replaced Marnie for the 4th movie. I know Kimberly J. Brown is on TikTok and has probably mentioned it. I honestly don't remember. I think she is so perfect for this role. I used to think that she was so cool and I still think she's really cool. Okay, some of these thoughts might just seem kind of scattered and random because I just jotted things down as I was watching. Otherwise, I'm gonna be talking about each movie for an hour. I think it was so funny when Luke tried to ask Marnie out in the beginning or like the first half of the movie and he calls himself the Big Cheese and then Marnie is like, it smells around here. It could be the Big Cheese. I don't know why I thought that was such a sick burn. There's a lot of really bad CGI in this movie, but I personally think it's very charming. I mean, this movie came out in 1998, so I think it was pretty cool for that time. Okay, Marnie is so rude to her mom, and I can't believe that when I was younger, I thought of the mom as sort of like the side villain in this movie, just because she was trying to be a responsible mom and protect her kids from magic and like the dangers that could possibly come with it. Now I understand. I'm an adult and I understand. It is also really scary when, what's his face, Klondike Bar, Calabar, when he shows up for the first time in like the movie theater, he's scary. Like, I remember being really scared as a child, so scared that I think I repressed that image and I just remembered it when I was watching it and I was like, this was for kids? All in all, I really enjoyed the movie. I'm filming this on the first day of October, so it's definitely getting me in the spoopy mood. I remember now why this movie and this series is so beloved and I totally understand. Up next is Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century, but first I'm gonna make myself a hot chocolate. I've changed, I put on a little bit of makeup because we're going out to see people in a bit, but I wanted to talk really quick about Zenon. You might hear my dogs drinking water. First of all, the soundtrack to this movie, iconic. As soon as the movie started and that theme started playing, I was immediately brought back to when I was a kid watching this for the first time. In the beginning, when they're receiving like a holographic history lesson from their history teacher, they said President Chelsea Clinton, which I thought was like really cool. It was just cool that in '99 they were already talking about a female president in the future. I used to be obsessed with That's So Raven when I was a kid, so it was really cool to see Little Raven in this movie. Protozoa's song, My Supernova Girl, or whatever it is, I still get that song stuck in my head sometimes. The lingo in this movie is so funny and just so memorable. I remember when I was a kid, after watching this, I wanted to talk like them for some reason, like with all the majors and minors and whatever. Also, the popular girl, I don't remember what her name was, but like, so, I'm sorry, her character was so like gross until the very end when she decides to help Zenon. I'm like, I remember why I hated middle school, I hated high school. Popular girls were just so gross. I'm so glad I'm an adult and I don't have to deal with any of that now, because I was never the cool one. I was never popular. Okay, so I watched 2 DCOMs today and that took up like my whole afternoon. I have like this whole list that I read at the beginning of this video. I might just like put all of them in a hat and like randomly pick 3 to 5 more because I don't have the time. Even though if I had the time, I would definitely want to just go through and watch all of them. Okay, I think that's enough DCOMs for today. I have to get going. Hi, Apple. You want to come up? We'll see you later then. Okay, so we are on day 2 of me rewatching old DCOMs. Before I get to the next movie, I just wanted to say, I forgot to mention when I was talking about Zenon after I watched it, that the amount of gaslighting in this movie is incredible. Literally, if everyone had just listened to Zenon from the start, including her parents, including her friends, then maybe none of that whole conflict would have even happened. Don't gaslight people. So I think the next movie I'm gonna watch is gonna be one of my personal all-time favorites, Cadet Kelly. I actually met Christy Carlson Romano at our local mall when I was a kid. So really quick fun story, my mom was totally the cool mom and she told me that she had a surprise for me one day. She signed me out of school and wrote that I had a doctor's appointment, and then she drove me to the mall and was like, guess what, you're meeting Christy Carlson Romano today. So that was really cool. It is always going to be one of my favorite memories with my mom, and my brother was also there. But anyway, I'm gonna watch Cadet Kelly next. I just finished Cadet Kelly. It was so fun. I remembered all the reasons why I loved it when I was a kid. Hilary Duff and Christy Carlson Romano. Name a better duo. So good together. A few things that I wrote down when I was watching this. I really learned how to talk back to my parents because of DCOMs. I love that these kids are so confident and assertive, but just watching the way that they talk to their parents in these DCOMs is just like, whoa. The scoffing between Kelly and her best friend Amanda, the no, yes, iconic. I did not realize that the girl who plays Carla is in Degrassi. Christy Carlson Romano's character is Stone, Captain Stone. I don't remember the rankings or titles or whatever. I'm just gonna say Christy and Hilary, even though I know Hilary's character is Cadet Kelly. So there's a scene where like Christy sees Hilary's like rainbow blanket and then she takes it and stomps on it and makes it all dirty, and then the next time she sees the blanket she like rips it up, and I'm like, do you really have the right to do that? Even in military school? I don't know. If you know anything about military school, let me know if that's at all possible. The dance battle scene is so funny. Not like the really cool one at the end, which is a little less cool than I remember it being, but the one where Hilary's character, Kelly, is asked to like partner with Christy's character to come up with like a unique dance routine. Sorry, that's pancake. And then they have this like silent dance battle in the yard and there's like no music and they're just like one-upping each other. It's super awkward. I think it's really nice to show Kelly's family in that her parents are like amicably divorced and still friends and get along great and want to raise Kelly together. And then the addition of her new stepdad, Joe, who I really love Joe's relationship with Kelly. I think it's so sweet, and at the end like they hug and I just, it made me so emotional. I love that There were so many different parts of this movie that like stuff was introduced in the beginning and then came back at the end. The part where like Kelly's going through the obstacle course or whatever the first time and she's afraid of heights, and then she ends up needing to rappel down a cliff to save her dad. Like, I just thought that was really cool. And I totally forgot that that had happened in the movie, like her needing to save her dad. And now I remember that I really wanted to rock climb as a kid because I watched this movie. I loved that movie as a kid and I still love that movie now. It's probably still in my top 10 DCOMs. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a break for today. I'm gonna do some other stuff, maybe bake, and then I'll watch more DCOMs later this week. Hello, this is day 3 of me watching DCOMs. This backdrop probably looks familiar to you if you've been watching my YouTube videos. I have 2 more movies left on my list for this video because I don't have time to watch so many movies. So our next movie is gonna be Wendy Woo, Homecoming Warrior. Representation, people! As you can see, I have my laptop out. That's because I left my afternoon open. It's Monday, it's Indigenous Peoples Day, and I just felt like I would have a hard time feeling motivated to do things. So I just tried to leave my day as wide open as possible, and now, this afternoon, I'm gonna be watching Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams? I'm gonna be watching Wendy Woo and trying to bake a cake. Like, I'm gonna do cake rounds and try to cut part of it off so that it looks like a heart. We'll see how it goes. I just finished Wendy Woo and I really loved it. Some things that I wrote down. I was so surprised to start the movie and see that the Asian dude from Twilight is Wendy's brother. I don't know his name, sorry, but I thought it was funny to see him there. When Shen joined Wendy and her family for dinner and brought the mooncakes, and then Wendy's dad got emotional and left the table, I felt like I could really relate because he explains later on that he had to leave because he felt so guilty for turning his back on Chinese culture when he was growing up. And I'm pretty sure Wendy's parents are both also American-born Chinese people. So for me, growing up with Taiwanese immigrant parents and being the first generation to grow up in America, I definitely felt a lot of that. I grew up in a predominantly white area. I am very grateful for everything that my parents have given to me and just the way that I was raised and all the things that I got to have when I was growing up. But I definitely felt like it wasn't cool to be proud of my heritage. If you want to know more about me and my identity and growing up and all of that, you can comment below and I can do another vlog about that. The fashion in this movie is really something else. I am so glad that we don't dress like that anymore, but I also feel like 5-10 years from now, people are gonna look back at us in this era and laugh at how we dress too. How does Shen get into the school building if he's not enrolled in classes? And I also feel like he looks significantly older than everybody else there. And like, once he gets into the school building, like, what does he do all day? When Wendy finds out that she is homecoming queen and then finds out right after that the battle is happening during homecoming and she chooses to go to homecoming, I don't know, like, I get that homecoming's very important to you, but literally the fate of the world is on your shoulders and you're gonna go to homecoming? I just want to go back and tell Wendy and tell high school and middle school me that I would really prefer to not peak in high school. No offense to people who have. I just feel like there's so much life after high school, and if homecoming queen is like the pinnacle of your existence, I feel really bad for you. Sorry. I also just sort of wish there was a little bit more of an epilogue, like the battle ended and then the movie just ends with Wendy and Shen going to get cappuccinos. Overall, rewatching this movie actually made me a little bit more emotional than I thought I was gonna get, in that I didn't think I was gonna get emotional at all, but then I started thinking a lot about my childhood and how much I wanted to fit in, and fitting in was being like all of the popular white kids at school, and I just have so much more perspective now, and I wish that I could go back and talk to younger me and tell her all of the things that I've learned now about my identity and my culture and being proud of who I am, even if there are very few people around me that look like me. Okay, I think this is gonna be the only DCOM I watch today because we have to go to Costco. My last movie I think is gonna be Descendants because I've never seen it before, so I'm genuinely reacting to it for the first time. time. Most of the movies on the list that I read in the beginning I've seen before, so again, if you want me to react to more DCOMs, I'm more than happy to do that in another video because I feel like this is getting long. Okay, today is the last day of me watching DCOMs and we are gonna wrap things up with Descendants, which, like I've said, I've never seen before, so let's get into it. Alright, I just finished Descendants and overall it was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know why my expectations were so low. I think maybe it's because the last few years or so, I was watching the Disney Channel. I really didn't think any of the shows were good, and so therefore I just didn't think that this would be good either. But I was really entertained the whole time. I do think the plot was, you know, overall kind of predictable because it's a kids movie, but there were little twists and turns here and there that made it overall really enjoyable. Alright, some stuff I wrote down. So one of the first things I wrote was that I thought the first song, Run to the Core, was bad and really cheesy, and now that I'm thinking back on it, I don't know that I really liked any of the music. But then again, this is a kids movie and I do feel like if I was in my 20s when High School Musical came out, I might have felt the same way. I might have felt the same way about that. Also, rest in peace, Cameron Boyce. It's just really surreal to watch Descendants and think about how he's not here anymore. I did watch a lot of episodes of Jessie, not the whole series, but I did watch a lot of it. I did really enjoy him in that show. I enjoyed him in this. I'm really glad that his legacy is just like, you know, making kids happy, and I think he did a really great job in this movie too. Kristen Chenoweth, so good as Maleficent. I did think it was kind of funny that all the kids' names had to do with their parents' names somehow. Like, really, Maleficent's daughter's name was Mal. One that I thought was funniest was Lonnie was Mulan's daughter. Come on, guys. I also thought it was really funny that the evil queen was played by that witch from Hocus Pocus. I loved everyone's costumes, especially how the kids' costumes sort of reflected their parents. Like, Lonnie's costume had like the blue and the magenta-ish like Mulan, and then Audrey's mom was Sleeping Beauty, so her dress was pink. Alright guys, so that's the end of this video. I had a lot of fun watching and rewatching DCOMs. If you want a part 2, let me know in the comments. If you don't want a part 2, you can also let me know in the comments. And let me know what your favorite DCOMs are. I have seen a lot of them, but there are definitely some that I'm missing, so let me know, I'll watch them and we can compare notes. Like, subscribe, share with friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Bye, Apple.